a partner that is buying into your vision.
I am calling you make you talk back.
Hello, welcome to my podcast. This is Oma's Diary 360, where I chronicle my journey as a broadcast journalist, a development one at that, and a social impact journalist. How are you? Glad to have you join me. I am Oma, your very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. So I had a very interesting conversation with Happiness Akabuike, whom I have nicknamed AI Queen. She spit fire, so much fire. You know, we actually talked about reading, and she discussed about how she really got inspired by reading, how everything that she's been doing has been all about reading. And she shared a lot of thoughts about supportive partners, about how reading has made her the Google woman that she is. You need to take a listen to this particular podcast, as you will definitely be inspired if peradventure you are looking up for inspiration. Stay here and I will see you at the other side of it. Of course, I am Oma, your very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. I'm always excited to be here on 20 Spot Show because it is that program where we inspire, motivate, encourage. It's like a catalyst, right? After listening to 20th Spot Show and to any guest that comes on 20th Spot Show, I'm so sure that something changes in you. And today's program is yet another program where we are about to form as a catalyst to your life. I'm talking about someone who is in the live studios of Radio Sapienza 95.3 FM on its original number one. As you can see, I'm excited as always. I have with me the AI Queen. I call her the AI Queen, Happiness Akabuike. I never knew that we had someone like Happiness Akabuike in our nature. So when I found her out, I told her, you must be on 20th Spot Show. Young people that are listening to this program, parents, guidance, they need to know that we have someone of your caliber. She's not just an AI queen, she's a Google woman. I'll allow her to tell us, you know, there's a lot of things to her name. So Happiness Akabuike. Welcome to 20th Spot Show here on Radio Sapienza 95.3 FM Onitsha. So now tell us by yourself, who are you?
Wow, almost with that. I'm so inspired and excited to be here with you.
Okay.
It's a warm embrace.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
My name is Happiness Akabuike. I'm a software engineer and a Google developer co-lead and a women in tech ambassador. I hold diploma in artificial intelligence, BS in computer science, MSc in software engineering, and aspiring to do my PhD in artificial intelligence and machine learning.
You see why I call her AI Queen? Go on.
And I'm also a founder of a tech firm, which is specializing in using technology to automate businesses, to innovate, and to train young graduates and place them on job roles. So our target is actually to catch people young, especially to catch people to come to the trends of the technology, which is where we are. So having understood that the universities we have here does not have all the tools to equip people for labor market, so we came up with a graduate mentorship hub, which is a startup version of my firm that is specializes in training young graduates on job readiness skills, and then also helping them 5 feet in the labor market. So we partner with a whole lot of companies there that is helping us recruit these graduates and also helping to fill that skill mismatch, which is one of the major problem of the Nigerian employers. Okay, all right. You know, I've been following you up. All right, you've been doing a couple of trainings. I've seen you go to different cities, towns here in Anambra State to train young women. Although even it's not really part of what, but I'd like you to touch on that. Can you tell us briefly what that training is all about, so that a lot of young women who are listening to this program can also participate in that and know that there's something like this happening? Okay, that training is, Transforming Nigerian Youth Program, which is an initiative to help young women between age 18 to 35 years to scale in entrepreneurship, to start up something and scale in it. So it's a training that is sponsored by Mastercard Foundation, delivered by EDC, which I happen to be one of the facilitators. So the essence of that training is to train, to have a grassroots training of women entrepreneurs. I haven't observed that a whole lot of women do business without not understanding the nitty-gritties of running and scaling a business. So they came up with that training. So we train them on how to run a successful business and how to scale their business for profitability. So the training is actually free, and we are running it in different locations in Anambra State. In fact, in Nigeria. So I happen to be one of the facilitators here in Anambra State.
Okay. Have you done the one of Onitsha? Because I know you've gone to, you were in Amobia.
I was at Amobia, I was at Joto. I've done partly at Onitsha, but that of Onitsha is not yet completed. So.
Okay, so another one is coming for ladies in Onitsha. Yes, aha! That's what I want to hear, because you said it's free, right?
It's free.
Okay.
Totally free.
Okay, so when the time comes, when it's getting to that time, please let us know about it, all right? So that a lot of young women can participate in it and partake in it. But all these things didn't just start, right? It started somewhere. And the first time I had a discussion with you, you said something that really threw me almost off my seat, right? You said you started in your primary school. And it's as if it's predestination. Please, can we move back? Because this program, 20th Pod Show, is for secondary schools, right? We have a lot of young people who are listening to us right now, parents, guardians, a lot of people are listening. So can we trace back to when you started, to your primary school? That story you shared with me about reading, because we are looking at reading culture, because readers are leaders, right? Can we trace back to when you started?
All right, that's a nice one. Actually, I started from when I was in primary school.
Okay.
I knew that in me there is this passion for creativity, innovation, and growth.
Okay.
That spurred from when I was a child. So, and one thing I noticed about me is observing where things are not going well, and I have that leadership ability to organize things, fix things, and make things working. So in my primary 4, I realized that some people are in primary 4 that are not reading. I was like, I felt it's not normal. I said something has to be done. How it all started is from that passion to help out. I started helping few people, like, why are you not reading? This is easy now. Read like this, like so. From there, I formed a club. So it started. It became a culture in that primary 4, where I now some other group of people who are reading were now synergy with me to ensure that everybody now reads. So we are no longer reading for learning how to read. We are reading for passion. We are reading because we want to know more. We are reading because we want to find out. You understand? So that created enthusiasm, inquisitiveness. You understand? Because one thing I observed when I started reading initially is that I started reading as a fun, not just fun alone, but there is this a fun attached with creativity, a fun attached with innovation. So in that reading, there's always the question of what, where, how, when. So all of these questions are what comes out from those reading. And each time I'm asking those questions, it leads me to trying to do more research to find out which
as small as you were then.
Yeah, so I was like, how this, how that. I asked a lot of questions. Then my siblings know me that I ask so much questions. If I come to a place now, I will ask this, I will ask this. In fact, my elder ones, if they are listening to me on radio now, they will know that they are scared of my questions. So that curiosity in me to read, not just as a fun. Because I observed that a whole lot of kids read for fun. They read for fun. They are catching cruise reading. No. But in my own pattern of reading, I was reading to find out why.
Okay.
I was reading with lots of questions in my mind. Okay. For every paragraph I'm reading, I'm asking questions leading to another question, which is creating more curiosity to do more research and even to read more. So which now make it's become a chain of feeling in me that trigger reading and reading and reading and trying to read and trying to find out. And as I was reading, I observed there is a niche that I'm doing, which is science
Okay.
I love to read science book. I want to know how water was formed, how this rock was formed, what's happening here. So from there, I found out that I have so much interest in science. So exactly that was how it started, and it continued to grow from primary school. I continued reading up till when I get to secondary school.
Okay.
I got to secondary school, it did not just stop. I continued that we were reading together as friends, me and my friends. So I was in science class then. We were doing physics, chemistry, biology. But then the physics, chemistry, biology, I realized that this is not just what I can read alone. Because in the midst of reading those physics, chemistry, biology, there are questions that I'm always asking. Which is one thing I want to encourage every child reading. Read to ask questions.
Okay.
Don't read for fun alone. Do you understand? When you read to ask questions, that is the question is where the innovation lies.
Okay.
That is where the creativity lies. But when you are reading just because you just want to read to have fun, you read it verbatim like newspaper, and you have fun with it, you drop it, it's not gonna develop or create or solve any problem. So reading actually is meant to solve problem.
Okay.
It's meant for discovery. So in the course of reading, you are expected to read, discover something, solve problem.
Wow.
Ask question to solve problem.
Wow.
So when you are reading and you are not solving problem, you know that you have not adapted the real method of reading. So that was how we started back then in secondary school.
Okay.
We are reading physics, chemistry, biology. From there, we formed another club called Jet Club, which is
You've always been forming clubs, like
form clubs. So that you can see it now. We started reading from that club when our school wanted to. When our school wanted to send some group of people that would represent for mathematics cowbell competition, 2001, it was I and my groups that represented the school. 2002, we went to again and read. So it's from that reading club. From that I became the library prefect of the school because I'm always in the library.
Wow.
Because all the books in the shelves, I want to know what is happening in all the science books present in the shelves. That was how when they say library fair, they say no, it's by nomination. It's Happiness that will be the library fair. That was how I became JSS Karo Abuja library prefect 2001 through 2002. So it is exactly what formed what I'm doing today.
Wow.
So that curiosity to always ask questions, to know more, to observe things, to try to solve problems is part of the passion that is propelling what I'm doing.
Now, to a young person listening to us right now, because you talked about reading being fun and not just making it fun, but to read, to question, to be inquisitive. Part of the challenge, part of the questions I've had young people ask me is, how can I read to understand? Number one, some people find it difficult to read for a long time because they are distracted. You read so much that reading became a hobby to you. How can somebody, a young person listening to us right now, read not to be distracted? Even when distraction is coming, you still stuck there, you are reading because you want to know, you want to understand.
Okay, yeah. The first thing is reading becoming a form.
Okay.
The second thing is making it a habit.
Okay.
A culture.
Okay.
You understand? When it become a habit, a culture that you can't do without. You know how all these people that smoke Indian herbs, they can't do without it. A day without it is like the world is crashing on them. That is exactly how reading should be. And for one who is reading without understanding, I know a whole lot of people goes through that kind of a problem where you are reading without understanding. That means you are reading with lack of concentration, especially the teenagers or youth of these days that have so many distractions around them. Not like we when we are growing up. I don't have cell phone when I was doing all those things. Even now that I have cell phone, I have control over what I do. But for teenagers or youth or young ones in a present tech age where everybody has smartphone in their hand that is being distracted, you need to be disciplined. Okay. One, you need to be disciplined. Then form a reading timetable. Okay. Be committed to it. Okay. Do you understand? For everything one is doing in life, if there is no time management and commitment, there is no how you will do it. You must fix targets. Tell yourself this is what you want. Understand why reading is important for your next level of growth. Do you understand? So when you now understand that you need to be a ladder, you understand? You know, a ladder, you are a ladder, you are a lifter of men. Yeah. Do you understand? So you need to understand where you are going. Form a mindset. The problem is that the young ones we have today don't even understand where they are going.
Please, how can they understand where they are going? Because someone that is listening right now is asking that question. How do I understand where I am going?
Good. One, understanding where you are going is forming a niche. What do you want? What do you like? Okay. Do you understand? I know, yes. When I was going, I told myself, Isha, I was going to be a medical doctor.
Share that story. Yeah.
I said I was going to be a medical doctor. The reason, one of the reasons why I want to become a medical doctor is because I love biology.
Okay.
And I used to score very high in biology. Biology used to be my favorite subject. Chemistry is my favorite. All those medical related subjects are my favorite subjects. Away from what I do well in school, what do I do as a passion? What is that thing that when I woke up, even if I don't read it well, by creativity and by the gift of God in me, you understand, I can do it. We should look beyond what we are doing well in school to come closer to the gifts that God has given to us. That is when you now need to marry God together with you and your career. Do you understand? Because you cannot form the career outside of God.
Okay.
If not that God was deeply involved from when I was 18. I repented when I was 18. I was so committed to God that I read, I pray, I fast, I commit every move to God, and God directed my step. So when I was like in my secondary school, they used to call me UNAB, Doc, Happiness. I want to be a medical doctor by profession. But then God was busy shaping the future He wanted.
So why didn't you?
Because He knew that I wouldn't have been a good medical doctor.
So why did? Okay.
I say I want to be a medical doctor, but I hate hospital.
Oh.
Everything around hospital irritates me. The hospital smell irritates me. I hate.
And you wanted to be a doctor?
I cannot even kill fowl. So how am I supposed to be a medical doctor? I just want to be a medical doctor because it's a professional call, it has fame and all of that, and I was doing it. So until when I came across one of the counselors in my school, because then in my secondary school you need to go through counselors when you after your work. I went to the one was asking questions, from trying to know who I am from when I was in primary school to even my activities then in school. It was like happiness. So you say you want to be a medical doctor, you hate blood. I'm not seeing medical doctor in you. Two things that you'll be very, very good as a software engineer or maybe one who is into ICT or something like that. So I was like, I have to be a medical doctor. I don't need to fall hands, those peer pressure, because we are a group in school then that want to be medical doctors, we are doctors. We're giving ourselves that name, doctors.
Okay.
While we are secondary school, and because we are in science class, the Jet Club group of people, we need to be medical doctors. So away from that, away from you, choosing your, you should also understand that you don't need to do things because your friends are doing it. Great. Don't do things because you want to earn fame. Do things because you are gifted in it. Good things because even if you sleep and wake up, even if you are thrown into a desert, you can from desert do that thing willingly. Not doing it by struggle. The best way to identify your calling as a student or as a youth is to do things even doing it without struggle. Yeah, that was how I found out. So I continue. I didn't stop. I had to write my jam, field medicine and surgery. I got over to UNN. Until today, if you are listening to this call, you remember the advice you gave me. You told me, Happiness, leave this medicine of 18. Come and do computer science. I'm going to buy change of course form for you. That was how the narrative changed. After talking to me, because she's in computer science department, she told me, Happiness, you will do better being a computer scientist. Come and buy the phone. I said, buy it for me. She bought it, and that was the whole story. I went into doing computer science. From that moment, the whole thing changed. Wow. I realized that I have found myself in the right place.
The right place. Exactly. The right place. Now, what would you say to a young person who is still struggling to find his or her place? Because you just told us now that you found yourself in the right place. Yes. What would you tell a young person who is still even an undergraduate? Here in Nigeria, sometimes people graduate and they don't even know where to stay. They don't even know where to work. They don't even know where to fit in. From your own experience, you are a software engineer. Yes. I introduced you as AI queen. In fact, you're doing so much. You're a Google woman. You've gone you're even training others in tech, right? Yes. Because you found your place. What advice do you have for a young person that is still struggling to find his or her place in life?
Okay, like I used to say, mentorship is a vital criteria. Okay. It's one thing that parents need to know. That your child is going to do this in school, and some parents are not even making things easier. Some imposes costs on their children. They say, do it, it's good. You understand? I'm talking to parents listening to this program. Allow those child to tell you what they are doing, what they can do with ease.
Okay.
You understand? Allow those child to go through some level of mentorship. Even though you want them to become a software engineer, a medical doctor, or a nurse, and this probably because of one thing or the other, one problem you want to solve with that, but peradventure the child is not able to come to terms with what they are saying. Peradventure this is not the calling of this child. So what the advice I'm giving to teenagers and the parents: one, find yourself by knowing, discover yourself. Discover yourself through reading.
Okay.
Reading is important because it's one step that will help filter who you are. It is because of reading you will realize who you are. Do you understand what I mean? I remember Ben Carson. So many of you that have read the book written by Ben Carson. Ben Carson was the one that wrote Gifted Hand. He's the one that wrote The Big Picture. These were some of the novels I read at the formation stage. If you read the story of Ben Carson, you see that what shape Ben Carson was reading. The mom compared Ben Carson to be reading. Ben Carson read series of books. Even when he was time dummy in his class among the white kids, the mom realized that the only chance Ben Carson has scaling through in the midst of white kids is just reading. He subjected Ben Carson to reading. She started buying series of novels and then gave him target on the number of novels he'll be reading per week. So you can see that the mom played a vital role. It was because of reading those novels that Ben Carson found passion reading, rock, stories of rock. It is that stories of rock geography that form the foundation of what he's doing currently today. So what I'm trying to say is that parents should give their kids, it's not just parents, to create an atmosphere that will enable these children to read. Okay. Do you understand? That will enable the children to read. Because reading is one vital aspect that will help shape them and align them properly. And not only that, the parents should subject them to mentors. There is need for mentors. No matter what you think your child can do on his or her own, without the help of a mentor, the child might still be roaming. Do you understand? The child might be ruined. So there's counselors that can look at the child, ask questions, even when the child is confused, doing a whole lot of things. Because at that state of confusion, you find yourself doing this, doing that, jack of all trades, confused, or someone that graduated from university, you read chemistry, you don't even know what to do with the chemistry. You are finding it difficult to find alignments. Do you understand? I think the best thing you should do at that moment is to settle down and find who you really are. Who are you? Ask your question. Ask yourself this: who really are you? If you cannot answer that question, go to a counselor. Maybe by the time they've asked you one or two questions from when you are in primary to secondary to how you even get to the universities, somebody must find out where the missing gap is.
Right.
It's just a matter of physics. It's never late. Yeah. Even after secondary school, I'm saying from experience, I know Ada Oyomi. Ada Oyomi is a software developer today. What she read in University of Nigeria is biology. Wow. But today she's a popular software developer working for Google. In fact, she's the regional manager for the whole sub-Saharan Africa. Did you get it? But what did she study in school? Biology. She never used it for once. Wow. Probably the mom was a nurse. The mom compared, oh, yeah, go and read biology. She read the biology for mom and finally,
how can science students find sciences, chemistry, physics, mathematics fun?
Yes.
In 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, actually, it's reading.
Okay. Reading
to understand.
Okay.
The only way one finds anything doing is understanding it. What throws one off balance in it? Even the job we are doing today, you are doing it because you are understanding it. Yeah. I love it. It's fun to me because when you bring an IT project, when I analyze it, I find out the missing gap. I saw problem for you. I feel very happy. So understanding is the first thing. So if you find difficult not understanding chemistry and biology, look for someone who understands it. When I was in university, there is a friend of mine, Gam, if you're on this call, you remember that I disturbed you here when we were in UNN. Do you understand? I used to disturb Gam Ugochukwu very, very well. For any mathematics we are doing, when we are doing further mathematics, I'll go and find him. If I read, I don't understand, I'll go and do for him. So what I'm trying to say here is that collaboration is very, very important.
Collaboration?
That's why I talk about reading club. Do you understand? If you are reading chemistry and you find it hard, get a reading partner. Okay. If one person is not enough, get 2. If 2 is not enough, get 3. Form a club.
Amazing.
By the time 1, 2, 3 person must have read that chemistry, 1 person must decode it.
I love your passion.
how to navigate it.
I love your passion.
Collaboration is everything in life.
I love your passion.
There's
You come again.
You can do anything. There's nothing in life you can do alone
without collaboration.
Without collaboration.
Yeah, true. I understand. We're out of time.
Yes.
We're out of time. But there's something. She's a mom of 4, right?
Exactly.
So don't think. Can you just tell us how you are able to 30 seconds this time. Tell us how you're able to manage all these things as a mom and a wife.
Actually, one is that my husband is very supportive.
Okay.
So if I don't mention him in this call, it means that I'm not a good person.
Okay.
He's very, very supportive, because if he's not supportive, he would have stopped me, and he has the ability and capacity at the head to stop me.
Amazing.
That is number 1 thing. So find a partner that is buying into your vision. And if your partner is not buying into your vision, find a way to convince him to understand that this is a vision he needs to buy into for the progress of the family and for you for your peace and his peace. And not only that, planning. I have my schedule for the way I do things. For anything I put up my mind to do, I achieve it. I wasn't, when I was pregnant for my 3rd child, I told my husband, the way my brain is hot now, I'm feeling like I want to go back and read the law. I want to go and study law in the university. I told him, do you know I can study law? He said, yes, I know. So what I'm trying to say is passion, and I mean it from the depth of my heart. I believe that there is nothing on this planet Earth I put my mind to do I cannot do. It's just a matter of me remembering it and finding out me to do it. And I want everybody listening to this call to form that mindset. Mindset of everything is possible.
Yeah.
That I cannot do spirit is devil, is from the pit of hell. Do you understand? If you are reading a book and you are not understanding, tell yourself, you see this book, I will understand you and even write an innovative book from what I learned from you.
Amazing.
Find out people that will help you to decode it.
Wow! Happiness Akabuike. Fire! Fire! Thank you so much. You've said so much. You've covered a lot. You've touched on reading. You've touched on peer pressure. You've touched on a lot of things. You're still going to come again. Like I said, we're still going to have another conversation around this whole thing, because I know a lot of persons, they are so filled up to the brim and they will run with what you've said, which is that everything is possible. Remove that mindset of impossibility and see possibilities. Happiness, Google Mama, AI Queen, thank you so much for coming through, and we look forward to having you again.
I am calling you out, make you talk my pain away.
Wow. What is it not to like about this conversation? Now, this conversation, even I who had this conversation with her, I was truly inspired and motivated. Happiness did say it all. Readers are leaders, because as a leader, you are a ladder for others. Once you start seeing yourself as a leader who is the ladder for other people's success, then just know that you are living for the impact. Live for the impact. I am Oma, your very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. See you in my next podcast. I love you. Bye-bye.
She loves you back, oh yeah, Oma. But baby, you're my Oma, 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 Oma.